Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of Eye of the Dragon, Rabbit Hole, King Dio, Cruel and Beautiful, and the upcoming Lauren Frey. Sorry, I'm just a little bit tired. I've been up all night working on that last one, but I have been so busy lately. I have not had the opportunity to really talk about Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, specifically the pricing, because I've talked a lot about how excited I am for NSO, how excited I am, how much I love the service, how it's by far superior to Game Pass. The base Nintendo Switch Online is superior to Game Pass. I've talked a lot about it. I've had a lot to say. I've had a lot to say. I'm probably one of the very few people on the planet who have played nearly all the N64 games on that initial launch lineup. I know this console really well. I'm really excited for it to be on Switch, and I've been eagerly anticipating the release date. It's coming out in 2 days, Monday, the October 25th. So really excited for that. Going to be picking that up day one at its perfectly reasonable price of $50. In fact, I would be willing to pay more if they gave me the opportunity to do so, because I am so excited about this. I am love these games, love being able to play them whenever, and love being able to play them on modern hardware. I'm super excited about it, but I really want to explain why. And it really doesn't take a genius, right, to compare the pricing for NSO versus the pricing of Xbox Game Pass, because Xbox Game Pass is like $15 a month, so a year that equates to what? Let's see, over $155. My math is kind of shit, but it's overpriced as shit. You don't get anything out of it. The selection isn't good. There's nothing to fucking play. It doesn't update regularly. Game Pass has no real value unless you're a video game critic like me who needs to be playing everything that comes out. I would not be recommending Game Pass. I would not recommend Game Pass to anyone. It's a shit service. All the games are trash. Nothing on there is good, and everything that is good you would want to buy on a Nintendo console anyway. So there's really no value to Xbox Game Pass, especially now that one of the very best games on the service, Banjo-Kazooie, is in fact coming to Nintendo Switch Online at some point in the future. Already been confirmed, already in the works. The very best game on Xbox is coming to Nintendo Switch Online as just another entry in Nintendo's vast selection of high-quality titles, right? Ocarina of Time, best game ever made. Super Mario 64, best game ever made. Yoshi's Story, bit of a cult classic for those of us who grew up with it. Mario Tennis, all-time great sports game. F-Zero X is coming, one of my all-time favorite racing games. Mario Kart 64, one of my favorite racing games on 64. I prefer that one, I think, to Diddy Kong Racing, I think. I honestly gotta forget which one I prefer. And I've played through both recently. Anyway, I love the Nintendo Switch Online service. I love what they've done with it so far, and I'm really excited about the future. And with this additional price point at $50 a year, I think it's safe to say we are going to see more games get on the service. I've mentioned this before. Nobody else has brought this up, but I've noticed this. No games have been taken off Nintendo Switch Online. Once they're on there for good. I don't know if that's going to be permanent or Nintendo's going to keep renewing the licenses or what have you, but once Nintendo Switch Online reaches a certain point, you're basically going to see every single game worth playing on the NES, on the Super Nintendo, and on the N64 available on those services for a mere $50 a month. Now, what does that mean for gaming and for the industry at large? Well, all of the best games ever made will be available on one service. Not Xbox Game Pass, not Steam, not through piracy, but through Nintendo Online. There will be no reason to pirate or emulate Nintendo games when everything is available on a superior platform that you can do more with, and that has more functionality. It works easier, and is honestly more affordable if we're taking into account the fact that you need a gaming PC in order to rip Nintendo files off the internet and play them. Nintendo is killing it with Nintendo Switch Online, and so many people who I think must be unemployed, if they can't afford $50 a year, are bitching about the price point. Why? Like, you guys, I was around during the Wii U era, right? Like, I remember how you people bitched about Nintendo 64 games costing like $10 back in the day. That was affordable then, right? Extremely affordable then. And it's even more affordable now. There are 9 Nintendo 64 games coming out at launch for $50 a year. If you were to buy all 9 of those Nintendo 64 games right now on Wii U, that would run you about like $10 each, like $90, right? Like, obviously, I personally prefer owning the games. Obviously, I've owned all those games, all the games, basically all the games physically already. For a reason, because I'm a fan of them, right? But to suggest that $50 a year is somehow unreasonable, you know, when you're paying more than that for Xbox, when you're paying more than that for PSN, you're getting better games, you're getting better online play, you're getting all these features, game trials. Like, they occasionally give away games for free for a specific amount of time. Like, at this point, it feels like the only reason that people are complaining about Nintendo Switch Online is because it's Nintendo. It really is. It really does come off that way. I've said this before, but like, people just have this raging hate boner for Nintendo and will just do anything they possibly can to try and shit on them, even when other companies are doing the same thing but worse than they are. We saw this with the Steam Deck, right? Where like, it's basically a copycat of the Switch, but for about a week, people were trying to say it was going to be a Switch killer, which is of course ridiculous. Never going to happen for a whole host of reasons. But a big one is NSO. A big one is just being able to play all of the best games ever made on your Nintendo Switch at like a fairly reasonable price point. $50 a year is perfectly reasonable, and you need to stop pretending as if getting everything for free is your like moral right as a consumer. You need to stop. Nintendo Switch Online is a great deal, and I am extremely excited about playing through every N64 game this Halloween season.